Oh my gosh, you guys, there is something that we need to talk about. Okay, guys, there is more to nervous system retraining than just trying to get out of fight or flight mode. This is something that we really need to talk about, and you need to understand. There is more to nervous system retraining than just trying to get out of fight or flight mode. And so today I'm going to explain this, and this is super important because you could really be limiting yourself if your focus is only on the fight or flight response and trying to get the parasympathetic nervous system activated and get into a state of rest and digest. And so I'm going to tell you what you need to know so that you can avoid this trap. But first, I want to let you know that I'm doing a New Year's special because I really want you to start living a new life in 2023. I want to encourage you to take that step out of your comfort zone and into a new life of something totally different. A new life with less pain. And so that doesn't happen if you don't do something totally different. And so yes, this year could look totally different for you. Just 16 weeks from now could look totally different, right? My program, the Chronic Pain Breakup Method, is a 16-week comprehensive program designed to help you beat chronic pain. It has everything you need: the neuroscience lessons, the science-backed drills, the step-by-step plan, the expert guidance, the accountability, right? The community, everything you need to retrain your nervous system so you can get in control of your life. But to celebrate the new year, I'm throwing in 2 extra weeks of the program for free and a bonus one-on-one coaching call with me for free as well if you enroll during the month of January. So don't miss out on these special bonuses. Book your free clarity call with me today, even if it is a little bit out of your comfort zone, so that we can make sure that this is a good fit for you. And you're going to want to hurry because my schedule fills up fast, and so I don't want you to miss this offer. It's only if you sign up during the month of January. So don't wait, seriously, okay? And something that is unique about this program is the depth that it goes into in terms of the neuroscience and the drills and strategies that you learn, okay? There's lots of workbooks and books and apps out there and other programs out there that say they help you with chronic pain by addressing the nervous system. But the problem is that they're usually too watered down and they don't go deep enough into the neuroscience that you can fully and truly and really deeply understand the science of pain and understand why you hurt for so much and for so long. And they don't give you the drills, like the stuff that you can do to actually retrain your nervous system. They don't teach you what you can do. They don't teach you the strategies and drills in depth, aside from maybe telling you to meditate or do some breathing drills or providing some journaling prompts. And then on the side, kind of mentioning that you also, by the way, you need to sleep better and you need to exercise more, right? They don't go into depth into these steps about how to practice pacing or explain why pacing is important from a neuroscience standpoint. Like, pacing is one of the most important elements that you need to know about and utilize, but you need to know why pacing is important and you need to know how to do it. Okay, so telling someone that they need to pace is simply not good enough, right? Pacing is not easy. Okay, and then these programs, the workbooks, the books, and the apps, they don't teach you the actual nervous system retraining drills. Okay, and that's really what I wanted to talk to you about today, is that there is so much more to nervous system retraining than what a lot of people that I see online are talking about and what these books and apps and other programs are teaching. Okay, and I think because there's so much information about this idea that you need to shift your body out of a state of fight or flight and into rest and digest, it's very easy to fall into this trap of thinking that that's all there is, that's all that nervous system retraining involves. Okay, there's a lot of talk about the fight or flight response and the sympathetic nervous system. There's a lot of talk about how the body gets stuck in this fight or flight response, and that's causing all the problems and all the pain. there's a lot of talk about this, and there's a lot of talk about how to calm your nervous system down, how to shift out of a state of fight or flight and into rest and digest, right? There's a lot of talk about how to get out of a sympathetic dominance state and to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. And it seems that everyone has these ideas about how you can make that shift. And depending on your situation, some of them will work for you and some of them won't. But for the most part, you're going to learn about techniques that help you to shift your body out of fight or flight and into rest and digest. Those are strategies that will help you address your stress responses, okay? And you're going to hear all kinds of different, a variety of different strategies to do that, okay? Some of them are more effective than others. Some of them are science-backed and some of them are pseudoscience. But yes, there's lots of different methods that I've seen out there that are being taught out there that all have that same goal of trying to manage your stress responses and shift out of fight or flight and into rest and digest. And so I can give you a couple examples. So some of those strategies of what you might hear. So you might hear people teaching you how to meditate or promoting meditation. The practice of mindfulness is another example. Practicing breathing drills. You have CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy. We have biofeedback. We have journaling. We have grounding. Maybe you've heard of polyvagal theory, which talks about needing to activate the vagus nerve. And so some people will teach vagus nerve activation drills. Some will also say that cold exposure therapy is good for this. And now I've actually heard about sound therapy as well. So there's all these different techniques, there's all these different strategies, and I'm definitely not here today to tell you my thoughts or opinions on any of those specifically, because this is not the episode where I'm going to break down which of those are effective and which are not, okay? My point is that there's a lot of talk about this need to shift the body out of the state of fight or flight and into rest and digest, and it seems that everyone has a different strategy to do that. And the thing is, there is more to treating chronic pain than just activating the parasympathetic nervous system. And there's more to retraining the nervous system than just getting out of a fight or flight response. Now, if you are new to this conversation, if this is somewhat new to you, what you need to know is that there are two equally important and opposite parts of our autonomic nervous system. Okay? We have the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. They're two branches of the autonomic nervous system. Okay? The sympathetic nervous system is responsible for coordinating our fight or flight functions. It increases our heart rate, our muscle tone, right? It gets you to think quickly and impulsively. It gives you what you need in your body to survive any kind of stress. Okay. Then we have the parasympathetic nervous system. And the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for coordinating our rest, digest, sex, and recovery functions. It activates your digestion, your reproductive systems, your immune system, your sleep, your memory, your healing, things like that. And our bodies will shift between these two systems to help us survive. Now, sometimes some people will spend more of their time getting stuck in the sympathetic nervous system with the sympathetic nervous system in control, or stuck in this like fight or flight response. And that can cause some really pretty unpleasant problems, because when you're in that kind of a response, that means that your ability to rest and digest is actually going to be turned off. Okay, so your body is not going to prioritize digestion. It's not going to prioritize reproduction. It's not going to let you sleep because it's in survival mode. It's not going to let you form new memories because that would be a waste of valuable resources. It's not going to waste resources on trying to help you heal or fight infections because it's saving those resources for this survival situation. And not only that, you're going to have all this extra muscle tone and tension that's going to make you feel even more sore and stiff and ache and tight and all of that, right? So you're going to feel more tired and fatigued because you'll never get rest, because your body and your brain is constantly on all the time, okay? So this situation really sucks, and it can really cause you to feel more sore and achy and tired all the time. And so logically, it would make sense that we would want to get out of this problem, right? It makes sense that we would want to try to do whatever we can to not be in this fight or flight response. And so it would make sense to try these various different strategies that will help facilitate that shift out of sympathetic nervous system dominance, activating the parasympathetic nervous system, and shifting out of fight or flight response and into a state of rest and digest. And that is true, and there is actually a lot of benefit to doing that. But also, what we need to remember is that the fight or flight response is a response. It is a response. So if we really want to get out of a fight or flight response, our question should be, what is activating that response? We should be looking for the source or the deeper source for why this response is getting activated in the first place, and we should be addressing that part of the problem, okay? And that's just the thing. That is why you need a deeper understanding of the pain neuroscience. Again, that's why pain neuroscience is at this very superficial level is very limiting, because it doesn't actually tell you why this fight or flight response is getting activated. And when you don't understand why that is happening, you're going to continue to get short-term results because you're not actually going after the deeper cause, okay? Those other programs or those workbooks, those books and the apps that have this very superficial level of pain neuroscience education, they don't teach you enough about it. They don't give you enough they don't go deep enough into the science, and so you're missing really big pieces of information that you need to know in order to complete your nervous system retraining approach. Okay, you need to understand that there are these changes that happen in the central nervous system, okay, in the brain and spinal cord, and in the peripheral nervous system. Okay, you need to understand that those changes essentially force the brain to activate its protective responses, okay? Because of those changes, the brain can't fully comprehend what the body is trying to tell it. It can't accurately interpret the message that it's getting from the body. And because of that, the brain, whose main job is to keep you alive and keep your body intact, the brain's safest choice is to assume that there is a potential injury somewhere in your body, whether that is completely true or not. And the brain is going to activate its protective responses then in order to keep you safe, okay? So, for example, I'm going to tell a little story. So some of you listening may remember back in 2001 when there was that big anthrax scare, okay? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, in the weeks right after 9/11, people in the US were receiving these letters in the mail containing this toxic powder that was killing people and making them really sick. And during that time, it would have been really scary for you or me, for anyone, to receive an unusual envelope or a package, because there was this potential threat that it could contain this really dangerous biotoxin. And so imagine, you receive this package, an unmarked package, knowing that someone is trying to poison people with anthrax. You look at the package and you don't know what it is or where it came from. Right? Maybe somebody sent you a care package and the box is filled with chocolate and stuffed animals. Or maybe the box is stuffed with a dangerous biotoxin that could kill you, right? But because you don't know, it's safer for you to assume that it contains a dangerous biotoxin and act in the safest, most careful way possible to ensure your survival, right? Because if you don't know if the package is safe or dangerous, it's safer for you to assume that it is dangerous and act accordingly, okay? That is the same thing that happens in our nervous system, okay? Essentially, our brain and then the rest of your nervous system undergoes these changes, and when the brain gets messages from the body, it looks at it and it goes, I don't know if this is safe or if this is dangerous. And because I can't tell, I'm going to assume that it's a potential danger or a potential injury or a potential infection, and I'm going to act in the safest, most careful way possible. And I'm going to activate my protective responses. Okay, and so one of those protective responses is activating the alarm to let you know that there's danger. Okay, Like, think about it. What's the first thing that you do when you find the unmarked suspicious package, right? You call 911, you put up some caution tape around it, right? You'd activate the alarm. Okay, your body does the same thing. Your body activates its alarm to let you know that there is potential injury or potential danger here, and the alarm your body uses is pain. Okay, so pain is a protective response that your body uses to let you know about a potential injury. Pain is the alarm, and then your brain will activate its other protective responses in order to make you better able to survive, okay? So it's gonna turn on that sympathetic nervous system, and it's gonna activate your fight or flight responses and turn off your rest and digest functions to save energy and reallocate resources to make sure that you are safe, okay? And that's the thing. If we really wanna get to the root of a chronic pain problem, we really want to get to the root of the nervous system part of the chronic pain problem, we've got to address this part of the problem. We've got to address the changes that have happened in the nervous system that are activating those protective responses. Not just by addressing the changes in the brain, but also in the spinal cord and the peripheral nervous system as well, because it's not just all in your head or all in your brain, okay? So hopefully you can see that there are these changes that are happening in the nervous system that are causing this fight or flight response to get activated. And I believe that, you know, because there's all this talk about needing to calm down your nervous system, like everyone is saying you just need to work on shifting your body into a state of rest and digest and activate your parasympathetic nervous system, it's easy for us to think that this is all there is when it comes to nervous system retraining. You know, it's easy to wrongly believe that nervous system retraining is just doing things to calm your body down. And that is a trap. It's a trap that's really easy to get stuck in. So what I want you to know, in order to avoid getting stuck in that trap, is I want you to realize that meditation, breathing drills, journaling, vagus nerve drills, sound therapy, those kinds of things are not actually going to retrain your nervous system or have any lasting effect, okay? Don't get me wrong, learning to calm your body down and learning to shift out of a state of fight or flight and into rest and digest is an extremely valuable skill. It's a very valuable tool to have because it can have an immediate impact on your pain, right? Like calming your body down and getting into a state of rest and digest can have an immediate effect on how you feel. It can reduce your pain, it can reduce your muscle tension, and it can help you get better sleep. But it's not going to have any long-term impact on your pain, on your nervous system, okay? Usually anything that you do that has an immediate effect only has a short-term effect, right? So practicing those types of strategies that help you shift out of a state of fight or flight and into rest and digest will have an immediate but short-term effect. And also, breathing drills, the meditation, the grounding, the tapping, the journaling, all that stuff is not going to have a long-term impact on your pain because it's not going to reverse any of the changes in your nervous system that are causing these protective responses to get activated, okay? You may be able to shift your body out of a state of fight or flight momentarily, but unless you literally retrain your nervous system, you're not going to see any long-term or long-lasting effects from practicing those drills. Okay, unless you address the changes in your nervous system that are activating those protective responses are going to continue to get activated, which means that you will have to continue to practice those calming strategies day in and day out to have any sort of relief. Okay, now, full disclosure, I do teach breathing drills in my program. I do believe that breathing drills are important, not only to help you shift out of a fight or flight state, but also to address a problem that a lot of people with chronic pain have with activating their diaphragm. And when you can breathe better, you have better core control and better muscle coordination of the core. And so yes, I do teach breathing drills in my program. It's one of the very first things that I teach. It's the very first step. It's a foundational skill that I think is important for everyone to learn and understand how to use. And to be quite honest with you, breathing drills are the best way to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, okay? Not only are they cheap, They don't require any equipment. They're not complicated. They're not difficult. They're not time consuming. They're easy to do, and you can do them anywhere. But also, we are talking about the autonomic nervous system, right? And by definition, we don't have conscious control over our autonomic nervous system functions, right? Like we don't have conscious control over our heart rate. We don't have conscious control over our digestion, right? Like we can't consciously tell our digestive system to kick into gear and really digest that sandwich we just ate, right? We don't have conscious control over our blood pressure or our muscle tone. Okay, the only autonomic function that we have conscious control over is our breathing. And the beauty of that is that when we slow our breathing down, it slows down the whole system. Okay, and so by controlling one part of it, we can influence the rest of it. Okay, so breathing drills are very simple, they're very easy to do, and they're great for that reason. But also, at the same time, I 100% know that breathing drills are not going to cure your chronic pain, right? Like slowing your breathing down is not going to magically just fix your chronic pain problem. Of course it's not. But the reason I teach these drills is as a foundational skill that will help you to calm your body down, possibly alleviate some muscle tension, possibly alleviate some stress, give you some immediate relief in terms of pain and other symptoms, to be honest, and help you to get better sleep, right? And also to give you something that you can do prior to doing your other drills so that those drills can be more effective, right? Because if your body is in a more reparative state when you do the other drills, those other drills are then going to be more effective as well. So we can use the breathing drills to make the other drills more effective, right? Because if we're talking about changing pathways and synapses in your nervous system, then your body needs to be in a state where it's ready to make those reparative changes, not in an overly protective state of survival mode, right? So that's something really important to consider, is that when you're thinking about using a nervous system retraining approach, make sure that your approach does not just utilize techniques that help you shift out of fight or flight and into rest and digest. That is not enough. Okay, those techniques are great, but because they have an immediate effect, but their effects are not long lasting. Okay, so make sure that your approach goes deeper and actually helps you address the deeper reason that your fight or flight response is actually getting activated. Okay, your approach should really have both, like a way to help you get some immediate relief and a way to help you have a long-term impact on your nervous system. Okay, so avoid getting stuck in that trap where the focus becomes only on calming the fight or flight response, because if that is your main focus, you'll get stuck doing those strategies every single day, and you will eventually get burnout on them, and you'll get tired of having to rely on them. Okay, so there is definitely more to nervous system retraining than just getting out of this fight or flight response. We've got to address the part of the nervous system that's turning on that fight or flight response to begin with. And that's really what a comprehensive nervous system retraining approach is all about. And that's exactly what you get inside my program, the Chronic Pain Breakup Method, which is my 16-week program that's going to take you deeper into the neuroscience and teach you more tools and strategies and drills than any other book or program or workbook or app that's available out there. Okay? And like I said, right now you'll get 2 extra weeks in the program for free and a one-on-one coaching call with me for free if you enroll during the month of January. And so that means that you get 2 extra weeks to learn and practice and implement and ask questions and get extra accountability. And instead of 16 weeks with me, you're going to get 18 weeks. And you'll get that one-on-one coaching call with me. And so that gives you a chance for just me and you. We get to sit down together. We get to talk through all your struggles and your concerns, your questions, make sure you're getting clarity and you're working through your blind spots. You're being held accountable and talking through some modifications that will help you make those drills and strategies to really fit into your lifestyle, to fit your needs and help you reach your goals specifically, okay? And so again, like I said, you get 2 extra weeks in the program and a bonus one-on-one coaching call for free when you enroll in the program during the month of January. And so to take advantage of that, we first need to make sure that the program is the right fit for you by having a quick phone call. So jump on this opportunity. All you got to do is schedule a time for us to connect over the phone. I will leave a link to my online scheduler where you can set that up very easily. It'll be in the description. And then on the call, we'll talk about your pain situation to make sure it's the right fit for you. I'll go over any questions that you have, and then there's really no pressure on the phone call, I promise. And so I want to, number one, make sure that this is something that you'd actually benefit from, and then give you all the information that you need to help you decide if it's something that you're ready to commit to, okay? So don't miss this opportunity to get more time and more support. Book a free call with me now because my schedule does fill up fast. So you definitely want to not wait until the end of January. So like I said, that link to schedule your free clarity call is going to be in the description. And in the meantime, I want you to avoid getting stuck in this trap where all the focus is on your sympathetic nervous system, right? I hate it when people come to me and say that they've already really been working on retraining their nervous system. And when I ask, they really tell me that they've just been focusing on doing lots of meditation and journaling and like vagus nerve drills. And they're frustrated because even though it's somewhat helpful, maybe it's a little bit helpful, it's not really having a significant impact. And what they don't realize is that there is so much more to nervous system retraining than those strategies are just a band-aid. But in order to really get that long-term relief, they have to address the nervous system, the changes that happen in the nervous system that are causing that fight or flight response to get activated in the first place, right? As always, I hope you found this helpful, and then that's it for now. I'll see you next time.